As far as this morning, we now know that Aski Ridge is going to be releasing on all platforms on June the 17th, which is right around the corner. Here in today's video, we are going to be covering absolutely everything that we know about the brand new map. I now have the full species list, yes, all 19 confirmed species. We're going to have a look at every single species that's getting remodeled, have a look at the most recent trailer the EW just gave us, and overall just dive into absolutely everything that you guys need to know about the upcoming map, Aski Ridge. So the very first thing that we're going to have a look at here today is all 19 of the confirmed species coming to Aski Ridge in a matter of just a few days. I'm going to read to you all of the new species first, and then all of the existing species that are going to be on Aski Ridge second. Now I will also provide you guys a screenshot up on screen of where I'm reading this from. This is straight from the Hunter official Discord server, so this is from the creators of the game themselves. We are going to be getting in Aski Ridge the North American beaver, the wood bison, let's freaking go, so excited for that, the Manitoban elk, the dusky grouse, yet another waterfowl species, the northern pintail, wood ducks, snow geese, and a new caribou species, the woodland caribou. Here in Aski Ridge, we are also going to be getting moose, black bear, gray wolf, bighorn sheep, mule deer, white-tailed deer, mountain goats, pronghorn, Canadian geese, mallards, and ring-necked pheasants. Now, EW hasn't even confirmed what the new great one species is yet, and we already have 4 different great ones that we can grind on this map. The pheasant, the white-tailed deer, the black bear, and the moose. I've been waiting so dang long for a species list for this map, and I'm so glad that we finally got it. So diving into the remodeled animals, we're gonna start with the bighorn sheep. Now, the bighorn sheep remodel is something that we've needed for like literally years. They are halfway decent looking in the game right now, but they're definitely not the most realistic. In real life, their horns curl. They have just way more lengthy horns in general, I guess we can say. I'm the most excited to see what the diamonds are gonna look like. Can you imagine a super rare bighorn sheep with just a crazy curl in its horns? That would be so cool. Now, the second species that's gonna be getting a remodel is the gray wolf. You guys, look at the cinematic of the wolf howling. This is just so beautiful. They look so much more realistic now. They're a lot more floofy, and for the first time since the announcement trailer, we get a close-up of the remodel. Oh my goodness, you guys, these things look stunning. Now, as most of you guys probably knew, the mule deer are also going to be getting a new remodel. They look about 1,000,000 times better as well, so much more realistic. I really hope that the reason that they decided to remodel the mule deer besides the community voting on it last year is because the fact that we're going to get a mule deer great one. That would be phenomenal. I would grind for that until I couldn't grind anymore. That would just be so epic. And then last but not least for the remodels, obviously the caribou are going to be getting remodeled. As we seen in the trailer, we have a very detailed close-up cinematic of it. The rack looks amazing, the fur looks amazing, the amount of detail into the modeling in this caribou is insane. It's technically not a new caribou species, but they renamed it for this map, so overall just the caribou in general are going to be getting a remodel, and they look freaking amazing. Now, in the end of the trailer, they did confirm that the map is going to release on June the 17th for all platforms, but the one thing they didn't tell us is what the new great one species is. Now, I'm going to talk about a few different species that I would like to see specifically off of this list here in just a minute, but first, I just want to take a second to look at the scenery on this map. At the beginning of this new trailer that we got here today, there is just such a good example of how beautiful this map is. In fact, I think it might be the #1 most beautiful map in Call of the Wild, right behind New England mountains. They actually might be right next to each other in my opinion. Just the wide open areas, the really beautiful dense terrain, the mountain ranges, the water ranges. It's just all so beautiful, and I cannot wait to hunt on this map. Speaking of beautiful scenery, look at this cinematic of the beaver chewing on the bottom of a tree, which then falls. This is just on another level of stunning. I never thought we would see anything like this in Call of the Wild, which then again, I never thought we would see anything like tigers in Call of the Wild, and well, here we are. You got this crazy looking lookout point thing here, which just shows the scenery of the map so beautifully. It's almost like a glass bridge looking thing. I don't really remember what she called it in the trailer, but it is genuinely terrifying. You guys all know Squid is terrified of heights. I would never stand on that in real life, even if someone paid me to. But to have something like that in Call of the Wild is so cool. I'm assuming that on this map there's going to be the dynamic weather system, which we've seen in maps like Sundar and Yukon Valley. The fact that there's snow building up on that little glass bridge thing I was just talking about is very interesting to me. I don't know if that's just like a certain time of the day that's there, or if that's just naturally there, which is also very possible, but still very, very cool to have. Overall, this map looks absolutely insane. I am so excited about it. And last but not least here today, we're gonna go ahead and talk about what species off of the 19 confirmed species list that I would like to see as a great one. More specifically, what species we need as a great one. With as slow as the game is this time of year, we need hype right now, and this new map is bringing so much hype. And I think what's really going to kind of be the climax of all of this hype is the new Great One species, which we still do not know about, but it is confirmed that one of the 19 species on this map will be a new Great One. This was confirmed many weeks ago by EW, right when they first started releasing that first screenshot that we seen, a couple YouTube shorts and TikToks, some Twitter posts, some YouTube posts, and the species for me that really kind of rings a bell the most would be starting off with the wood bison. This would make such an insane Great One considering that in real life wood bison are larger than water buffalo, so this could be A, the largest species in the game, which is more than likely to happen, and B, the largest Great One species, and just the fact that the largest species in the game would have a Great One would be absolutely insane. Now, they could do some crazy things with the horns on these wood bison. They could add some crazy fur variants. I would love to see a wood bison Great One. I think that they could do some really cool stuff with it, and as many people that are excited about this species, it would bring more than enough hype to the game. Now, I'm not saying that some people aren't going to be disappointed about it. Preferably, I think we need another antlered species, and that kind of brings me to the second species that I'm just going to say real quick that I would not like to see a beaver Great One. I know some of you guys want it, but we literally just got 2 small game Great One species, and odds are the beaver is going to be a class 2 species, and I've seen more people that don't want it than want it. And like I said, with as slow as the game is this time of year, I would really hope that they give us something a little bit more hype-filled than a beaver Great One. If they gave us a beaver Great One in another Great One species, well then heck yeah, I'd be perfectly fine with that. So another species that I'd like to see as a Great One would be the Manitoban elk. They could do some absolutely ridiculous rack variations with this thing, some crazy fur variations. The amount of hype surrounding this elk species, it may just be the craziest Great One since the moose Great One came out. They could do so many cool things with this species. I'd assume that they would have a drink time, so it should make things like herd management relatively easy, and overall I would love to see them as a Great One. Now next on my list is the mule deer. Now the mule deer Great One has been sought after for so many years, and in the sense of what's the most likely for EW to add as the Great One, I would say that it's probably either the mule deer or it's going to be something completely unexpected, which is very, very common with EW. But overall, I think what the community wants the most is either the Manitoban elk Great One or the mule deer Great One. Both of those species are super, super sought after Great Ones. Now obviously we could see some crazy atypical racks for the Great One mule deer. Some crazy fur types, kind of similar to the fallow deer fur types, which we've seen with the fallow deer Great Ones. And in the sense of what would bring the most hype, considering that mule deer are on 2 other maps in the game right now, I would say that the mule deer would bring the most hype, and it's probably the most wanted Great One in Call of the Wild as of this day. And then last but most definitely not least here on my list, considering that as we talked about here a few minutes ago, the woodland caribou did get a remodel, I would love to see a woodland caribou Great One. Again, they could do some absolutely insane atypical things with its rack, crazy fur types. They most likely would have a drink time, and that would make it so that way the herd management process is relatively easy, the grinding process is easy in general, and just something as insane as a caribou Great One. Can you guys imagine that? Overall, I would be extremely excited for that. Let me know down below in the comment section what Great Ones would you like to see added to the game? And what I do know is that we are going to have 5 Great One species on 1 map. That is insane. I believe that would be the most Great One species on any map in Call of the Wild. That's what's up right there, my friends. But without further ado, my overall thoughts on this map, I can't freaking wait. Even though that we do have a little bit of waiting left to do, I will definitely be making countless gameplay videos on this map, streaming countless hours. Unfortunately, I will not be getting early access because I'm under 18, and EW requires you to be 18 to sign the legal agreement to be able to get early access. It's a whole process. It's quite unfortunate, I know, but it's not going to stop me from doing YouTube. Last but most definitely not least here today, guys, I am going to end the video by showing you the most recent map trailer, the Aski Ridge release date trailer, which just came out here today as of recording this June 3rd, 2025.
You know, most folks wouldn't think to come out here when it's -10, but it's their loss. because you're looking at the finest stretch of untamed wilderness in all of Alberta. Even if the tourists can't handle the cold, the animals sure can. And all that snow on the ground means you can spot a moose clear as day from a long way out. Makes tracking easier too. When you hit the trail, you might want to start in the southern parklands. That's where you'll find lots of open clearings that make for some easy spotting. You'll see plenty of whitetail, and you're likely to spot wood bison passing through like they have for centuries. Along the riverbanks, you'll find waterfowl aplenty, like the Canada goose. But it's also where you'll find our most industrious resident, the North American beaver. Keep your eyes peeled, and you might even catch one working on its den. Just make sure one of those falling trees doesn't catch you. Further north, there's dense boreal woodlands that are full of life, even at this time of year. You'll want to look out for the black bear that's still out and about. And I bet you'll hear the gray wolf long before you see it. Finally, to the west, there's the Canadian Rockies. If you're up for a hike, the mountains promise plenty of breathtaking views and plenty to hunt, like bighorn sheep that cling to the mountains and the stunning Manitoban elk. But if you ask me, the scariest thing around here is Fiddler's Bow. It's the best view in the preserve, as long as you don't look down. So, are you up for the challenge? Pack your warmest jacket and come join us. Sure, it's cold, but I can't think of anywhere else that's this pristine, this peaceful, and this beautiful. Welcome to Alberta, Canada. Welcome to Aski Ridge.
Hey guys, if you did enjoy this video, definitely let me know down below by smashing that like button and subscribing, as it is much appreciated. And as always, my name is Squid, you're watching Squidster Outdoors, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.